Fenris, I see you still haven't cleaned this place up. It's not only still littered with bodies, it also has fungus growing on your floor here, man. You might want to do some cleaning up here. It just reeks of despair.
Take a look at this.
A blade of mercy. I remember these. You see them in the Imperium. Replicas of the sword Archon Hessarian used to kill Andraste. This one looks finely crafted.
It's a souvenir?
So they sell these things at every market stand in Minrathous?
Hardly. Here, let me show you. These are gifts of honor, given to those who have performed a service for the Imperium. Denarius coveted them, as I recall.
Tell me about Tevinter.
You don't talk about the Imperium much.
It's not a place I remember fondly.
Tevinter is ruled by mages?
Doesn't the Chantry forbid mages to rule over men?
Ah, yes. Magic is meant to serve man and not rule over him. In the Imperium, they say that means magic should serve the greater good, which they claim the Magisters do. Do not believe it.
Why is that?
What do the Magisters do that's so bad?
What you call the Circle of Magi rules the Imperium. They control the Chantry as well as the Templars. They claim the Magisters are governed by holy law, but they are the law. They do as they please. All of them.
Are they blood mages?
So they all use forbidden magic?
The more powerful the mage, the higher he rises in the Senate. He makes the laws, he determines what is acceptable. Everyone who wishes to compete must do the same or be crushed. Perhaps it wasn't always this way, but it is now.
Slavery is legal in Tevinter?
The slave trade is still in operation in the Imperium.
It varies from one Archon to the next. One outlawed it many years ago. He was quickly assassinated. Tevinter would crumble without slaves. The Imperium's elite know no other way.
Don't they rise up?
Seems like a slave rebellion would end that.
There are rebellions all the time, actually. Most of them end poorly. The Senate always unites when faced with sedition. One day, things will change. Then the Magisters will see just how fragile their hold is.
Tevinter's at war with the Qunari?
I heard that the Imperium has been at war with the Qunari for decades.
Ever since the Qunari landed on the island of Saharan, yes. 80 years ago? Perhaps more. The Archon demanded aid from the rest of Thedas. It didn't get him far.
But who's winning?
They've been at war a long time.
The Qunari only ever wanted Saharan, which they have. The Imperium has made numerous attempts to retake the island, without real success. I believe the Qunari are saving their strength, building a massive fleet. When they wish true war, we will know.
You think they'll win?
Are the Qunari that strong?
They once fought all the lands of Thedas to a standstill. If they wanted to conquer the Imperium, they would. From what I saw on Saharan, they will not relent. They believe even more strongly than the Magisters that they are in the right.
Keep the sword.
The blade is yours, if you want it.
For me? Yes. I think I'd like that. I'll think of the irony as I wield it. Thank you, Hawk.
Hey. Oh wait, he's got another thing for me? Questioning beliefs. Okay.
Last bottle of the Egregio. I've been saving it for a special occasion.
And what's that?
The anniversary of my escape. Astia Vala Femundis. Care to hear the story?
You want to discuss it now?
I thought you avoided talking about this.
Not on special occasions.
Then go ahead.
I'd like that.
Let's see. You've heard of Saharan? The Imperium and the Qunari have fought over the island for centuries now.
You told me.
I was there with Denarius during a Qunari attack. I managed to get him to a ship, but there was no room for a slave. I was left behind. I barely got out of the city alive.
Sounds like fun.
There's nothing like war for covering one's escape.
I had no intention of escaping. That time. There are rebels in the Saharan jungles called Fog Warriors. They found me and took me in, nursed me back to health. I stayed with them for a time, until Daenerys finally came for me.
I can see where this is going.
He was relieved to see you'd survived, right?
Relieved to see his investment hadn't ended up in Kunari hands, perhaps. I'd grown fond of the rebels. They bowed to no master and fought for their freedom. It was beyond my experience. When Daenerys came, they refused to let him take me. He ordered me to kill them. So I did. I killed them all.
Old habits die hard.
Once a slave, always a slave?
It felt inevitable. My master had returned and this fantasy life was over. But once it was done, I looked down at their bodies. I felt I couldn't. I ran and never looked back.
You didn't stay in Saharan?
Couldn't you have found other Fog Warriors? Become a rebel?
Even if I did, I felt unworthy. I had no way of knowing if I could truly escape from Daenerys then. I didn't even know what that meant. I simply had to get away. I stowed aboard a ship to the mainland and moved south, chased by my former master every step of the way.
Why didn't you leave earlier?
I have to wonder why you stayed with Daenerys as long as you did.
You have not been a slave. A slave does not dream of freedom or wonder at possibilities. You think only of your master's desires and what the next hour will bring. It did not occur to me that I could be anything else until I had a taste of it.
All slaves feel that way?
But there are stories of slaves rebelling all the time. They did in Kirkwall.
The ritual that gave me my markings also stripped me of my memory. Whatever I was before may as well have never been. Perhaps if I knew, I might have felt differently.
You regretted killing them?
How well did you know these Fog Warriors?
I knew them only a few months, but in that time, I felt as if I truly lived. They were bold, strong, free with their affections. I was in awe of them and owed them everything. And I turned on them even so.
How did you get away?
Didn't Daenerys stop you?
The rebels had wounded him. The soldiers he brought attempted to capture me, unsuccessfully. It was weeks before Daenerys was able to mount the hunt in earnest, but by then, I was already gone.
I think there was another thing when I asked him, why didn't you leave earlier?
It did not occur to me that I could be
No.
whatever I was
okay,
before.
No, never mind.
May as well have never been. Perhaps
it's
if
a good
I knew,
story.
I might have felt differently.
Gripping stuff. You should write it down.
You think they teach slaves how to write?
No.
I've never spoken about what happened to anyone. I've never wanted to. Perhaps this is what it means to have a friend.
Or too much wine.
Might want to take it easy on that bottle.
It's the last one, I swear. To you, Hawk, a finer mage I have never met.
Ah, cool. Fenris. Friendship plus 15. Awesome. Okay, so we got questioning beliefs. Let's see if we can actually go talk to Anders this time. Item received. Blade of Mercy. Oops. Man, I have really let him go. Oh well. Leave area. So we gotta go to Darktown. Go talk to Anders. Let's go see if he actually wants to talk this time. Anders, finally!
Leave me.
Never mind.
I have preparations to make.
Fine. You don't have to. You didn't have to anyway. I didn't want to anyway. So you know what? Have fun living in your little hole here, you know, whatever. Whatever. Let's go pick up the letter at home. Hello? Evelyn?
Here, boy. I've something to wet your teeth on. Freshly confiscated mutton just for you. Have at it. Just checking on my best guardsman. He's helping the men to learn healthy respect and how to run.
Good.
Another message came
I love
while
it.
you were
It's
away.
so
He's on
stupid.
your
I
list.
love it. Sandal, you got anything to say?
That big tower in the lake is scary. He means the gallows, and I quite agree.
Okay. Alright, writing desk. Let's see what we got here. The last straw. You've proven yourself a friend of Kirkwall's mages, and it seems I must call upon you once again. Meredith has gone too far, now let her madness remain unchecked. Perhaps we can... Oh, no. Okay. That seems to be the end. So, I still don't have this. I haven't finished this. But whatever. We're just gonna go ahead and finish the game then. So, I guess until then, we'll see you all soon. And we're gonna go do the last straw. So, see you all soon.